Radical.
Hope everyone had a great Easter. Now, I want to share with you a bit of an Easter story at the KFC drive-thru, and then a following review of the Kentucky Fried Chicken pot pie. So I get to the drive-thru, and I'm looking on what I want. I'm narrowing it down. I'm trying to remember what was really good I got there before. I was thinking maybe chicken strips. I was thinking maybe chicken nuggets. I heard the chicken nuggets are really good. Never tried those. But then I remembered chicken pot pie. I had a chicken pot pie a time before, and I was thinking we'll give it a whirl. The chicken pot pie was $6 and something, which is kind of pricey for a chicken pot pie, but it's a pretty big chicken pot pie. It's pretty big. So I ordered that, and then I asked about, I couldn't remember if it was at KFC or somewhere else, but years back, I got the most delicious vanilla pudding. It was the most amazing vanilla pudding. It's amazing. Hands down, by far, the most delicious vanilla pudding ever. And I think I got it at KFC, but she said they did not have that. So I went with just the chicken pot pie. I get to the window, and already I notice that there's a long line of cars in front. There's two. And it is Easter. I understand it. But the person in front of me had to back up their car after pulling in to then get out. So I want to avoid that, because what's going to happen probably is I'm going to pull up, and then the car behind me is going to pull up, and then I'm going to have to get out of the car and say, hey, back the fuck up. Then everyone in the line is going to have to back up, because I got to get out, because they're not bringing out the food for the people that are parked in the front. In this particular Kentucky Fried Chicken, there's not an area that they can veer off. When they constructed this place, there's not an area where they could veer off and go into parking spots. Every place should have that open area in case of backups. So I had to stay several feet away from the window, almost had to stretch my whole body out the car to hand over my debit card to pay for it. And the lady's looking at me kind of weird, but I'm like pointing in the front and everything, like, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I can't do shit there. And then she handed me my chicken pot pie. Then she handed me the card back. And I'm assuming, silly me, I'm assuming there's certain things, if you're working at a KFC, you're told to do. Certain things. I'm thinking if you're giving somebody anything, maybe some napkins are mandatory. You shouldn't have to fucking ask for napkins. You should provide a couple napkins with anything. You should. And when I sit down to eat my chicken pot pie, I was on lunch at work. When I sit down to eat my chicken pot pie, I noticed something was missing other than the napkin. I can live without the napkins. I'm not a real messy eater. The thing that you use in your hand to eat the chicken pot pie, we call it a spoon. The bitch forgot to put a spoon in the bag. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is common sense. But apparently these days, they don't teach. I can't fathom how fucking stupid you have to be if you work somewhere to not to take a spoon and put it in a bag. Because here I am with my $6 chicken pot pie. I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to eat this? I'm not an animal. I'm not going to dig my hands into that pie. You know, I'm not going to have a pie eating contest, you know. I mean, that's not the kind of pie I like to put my face down and eat, you know. But hopefully this will be just as yummy and everything, if not yummier than pies I usually eat. So what am I going to do? I look around in the car, and when you don't have a spoon, you're looking for anything that can reasonably resemble a spoon and get you where you need to go. Because you don't want to use your hand, of course. You don't want to use your mouth. What am I going to use? The only thing that I find is a old name tag from work. So, yeah. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I didn't have much time left before I go back to work, so I used the name tag. I did wipe it off with some paper towels. I did. It wasn't necessarily dirty. It really was not. But I dug in with the name tag, and I'm going to tell you, I do not regret it one single bit. It had been a while since I had a chicken pot pie of any type. Usually people get the frozen chicken pot pies. But everything about this chicken pot pie was just fantastic. It was just so wonderful. The crust, you gotta understand, the crust was so crispy, so delicious the crust was. And then I got to the nitty gritty. A little hot, so my tongue might have been like a little tiny bit burned. Let me check. No, not particularly, but you can kind of feel it when you eat some hot food. There was, now we're into the review part of it, right? It's hard to review food. Like, people do this professionally. I don't know. There was the what you call it, the gravy part of the chicken pot pie. It was nice. I detected carrots. I detected some mash, well, some little taters. And I think there's some peas in there. But I don't pay attention to a lot of that. It just kind of all meshes together. It was all right. It was all right. But then we get to the chicken. Nice chicken. Nice big chunks of chicken. And just the harmony between the chicken and the gravy and everything in there. It just worked. It just clicked. There wasn't, you know how sometimes you eat chicken pot pies and there's like a kind of an aftertaste from like the gravy and stuff. There was nothing here. Everything was very, very palatable. Very, very palatable. I think this is the end of the review for the chicken pot pie. I mean, how long do you think a review for chicken pot pie is? Well, it'd help maybe if I had the chicken pot pie and I showed it or I dug into it and picked things out and put it in front of like, the phone here. That's a review of the chicken pot pie. It was good. Very good. I wound up eating the whole thing. I give it a 9 out of 10 because the price was a little bit too much for it. And I'm not grading it on the fact I didn't get a fucking spoon to eat it with, because that's not the chicken pot pie's fault. That's not KFC's fault. Well, with that particular KFC for not training someone to give spoons is their fault. Good. It was a good chicken pot pie. My quote on it is, on this chicken pot pie, the KFC chicken pot pie is so good, you'll use your old name tag to eat it.